Sorry, it's still going live. There we go.
Why should you do a tour, a relocation tour in Panama? And especially why with us? Why to choose us?
Well, Megan, you weren't dancing. We had that custom.
New videos coming soon, guys.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Welcome. People just coming on. Welcome to all you YouTubers and Facebook people. We have good news for you. This update to our software, and we get the comments right away. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook and you type something in, we're going to see you right away. Now, the comments don't go back, so you're going to have to listen for our answers once we get into the Q&A session. Okay. All righty. So how are you tonight, Megan?
Doing great. I love all the comments, where everybody's calling in from, all over the place. A few in Boquete.
The house is filling up here. So
Wonderful.
You know, Steve. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you? Looking for Nancy. Nancy, did you come tonight? You told me you were going to be on. I just spoke to you. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Nancy and Russell. Good to see you guys tonight. Okay. So we showed our introduction video. Of course, now another 20, 30 of you have not seen it. We should just basically tell them, Megan, quickly who we are. We're not going to do a 30-minute sales pitch. Just tell them who we are. So who you are and who we are.
Great. Yeah, I'm Megan. I'm our operations director for our Retire in Panama Tours and Panama Expat Service. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, about an hour outside of Philadelphia, Upper Bucks County, if you know the area. And I went to Penn State University, majored in international development, and then went right into the Peace Corps and found myself here in Panama. And about halfway through my service, ended up meeting Oscar, and who's now my husband. And after Peace Corps, moved to Boquete and moved in with him and started working with Retire in Panama, and got to work and do the tours with him for a long time before we had our son, and got to share everything that I learned about Panama while I was in the Peace Corps, and got to learn a lot of Spanish. I wouldn't say I'm fully fluent, but I'm pretty fluent with Panamanian Spanish at least. And so now I run a lot of the logistics and operations of the company, and still love to meet all of our tour guests every time they're in Boquete.
Woohoo! My name's Rod Larrabee. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here in a month. It'll be 13 years ago. I met my business partner, Oscar, within 3 months of being here. Very luckily I did, because I needed help. I came down here, packed some bags, and watched a few YouTube videos and got in trouble in my first couple months. And I always tell my full story. It's quite long on the groups, but I won't go into it here. But Oscar, at that time, 12 and a half years ago, well, 13 years ago, was in the relocation business, helping expats move to Panama. And so I hired him, and he solved all my issues within a month. And we soon after became business partners. And we ran a small, we decided to get into a local business. So we ran a tour business with an office that had people walking in off the streets that had just moved here and needed services. So that's where we started our private relocation tours. And then in 2017, we decided to go with the groups. We started that in 2018. We're a little different. This is basically, people say, oh, I had someone on the phone, Megan. She booked an order tonight, a tour for January, and she goes, I never really heard of you guys. Well, we do one tour a month with 8 to 15 people. We're not running busfuls of people through every week. Why retire in Panama? Because we like to use the slogan, because we know your name if you come on our tour. We know who you are. We're going to be not just give you the best tour that we can possibly do. We're actually, the three of us, Oscar, Megan, myself, are going to help you move here. So, and we are the fun Move to Panama company.
Yeah, and it keeps it fun for us. It keeps it personalized, and we love when our tour guests stay in touch with us if they choose, and if they become neighbors, if they, keep us up to date on how life is going, if they move here or not. That's our favorite part of the business, so that's why we keep it small.
Tonight, we're going to talk about Panama's economy. Panama's economy is quite different than the economic Facebook experts will tell you. It's kind of funny, some of the comments that you see on Facebook. Some are very positive, but some are just, I call them Facebook experts. They got their degree on Facebook. Now, I don't have a degree in economics or anything like that. Megan has a degree in business. She probably, she can relate to a lot of the stuff that we're talking about once I get into these charts and graphs. But I give you the sources of where the information is. And our economy, I can just skip the thing and say the economy of Panama is better than that of the US and Canada's. We're done. Okay, Megan, say goodbye to everyone. No. Okay, maybe we should get into more details, right?
Yeah, and Rod is the expert here, so take it away.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the end of the slide, so I got to go to the beginning of the slide. 4, 3. My slides work this time. I pre-checked them out.
You're so fantastic at keeping track of all of this stuff, all of the numbers.
Yeah.
So people can really see what's happening here.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the economy. And then after I do this very brief 15-minute introduction about the economy of Panama, we want to start a Q&A, and from you guys specifically asking us questions about whether it's the cost of living, the political stability, like that. If we have room at the end, we'll open it up for questions to everyone else. So again, we welcome our people in YouTube and Facebook who are watching this across multiple platforms right now and multiple Facebook pages. If you have a question, you can just put it in your comments, like right in the comments where you are, or you can join us on the StreamYard live stream if you want. And there's always a link in the description for that. Okay, the economy in Panama. First of all, the economy is basically two things. You're talking about the gross domestic product. What is happening? Is the country growing? Is the economy growing? And then we're talking about what is inflation doing? Like, is it acceptable for people to live there? Now, if we look at this chart from Statistica.com, you can go there and search Panama. This is from 1989. That is at the time of the ousting of Noriega, 1989, and it's projected to 2029. Okay, so obviously from 1989 to 2023, these numbers are bang on. And this is the gross domestic product per capita. So it's a good metric as opposed to the general GDP growth. We all see that, oh my God, what happened here? Well, anyone looking at economic stuff always sees 2020. So, there's always a dip. But we had a nice steady growth, and we had a fairly robust growth through the 2010 through 2020. And then we had COVID. Our recovery was one of the strongest in the industrialized nations of the world. And we continue on a stronger growth trajectory than we have ever seen. We are the only one little glitch is right here. If you can see it, I don't know how big this is on your screen, but that is just this year because you all know the closure of the mine. If you read it on mainstream media, many were predicting the collapse of the country's economy. We're still going to have a GDP between 4 and 5% this year growth rate. Now, some were projecting negatives because of the loss of revenue from the mine that closed, but it looks like we're still going to be way ahead of the game and then just take off from there. And they're looking at GDPs in the 4 to 7% for the next 5 years. Now, these are just stats from all the great stat taking places. These are not from mainstream media. This is not from Insider News or any of or Wall Street Journal or Business Insider. So you can find some good information, good stats. The country is poised for great growth right now. Now the inflation one, you guys are going to be a little bit shocked. And let me explain what exactly happened here. This is the same period, guys. So we had basically flat inflation from 1900 right up until 2005. 2006 actually is this chart right here. 2006, pretty flat inflation. And then we had a huge peak. Now, it almost went to 9% in 2009. Now, what happened there? Well, we know we had the world financial collapse. Now, everything was around us, but we moved into a extremely strong economic growth cycle. Now, most of you know that we had an election and our new president took office in July last month. He is from the same party that took office in 2009 that dropped the inflation, controlled the inflation, but we had GDPs of 12 and 14%, which was a little insane. So it took a little while to bring the inflation back down below 2%. That happened in 2015. And then it was good. Like we're 0.4%, 0.7%. And then COVID. COVID actually brought us negative inflation, which is very, very weird. You can understand flat, but it actually brought us a negative inflation. And then we came out of COVID. And if you look at the number here, the highest inflation we saw was 2.86% on this chart. And currently, we are at 1.74% in 2023 because they don't have 2024 numbers over because it isn't over yet. And the projections are below 2% right up until 2030. So if you average all these, like the last 15 years, it's below 2% inflation if you take out those few peaks that we had. So all in all, sounds good. But the thing an expat has to remember about inflation is like from the sites that I'm using, inflation is not a general interview with the population. Inflation is the actual stats for a citizen of that country living in that country. So it's the grocery bag of the Panamanian. It's the home of the Panamanian. It's the utility cost of the Panamanian. That's where the inflation, same as the U.S. inflation rates, by the same. I'm going to show you another site that I've used, is the inflation cost of a U.S. citizen living in that country. Well, typically, a lot of expats live different than the local Panamanians. So if you're an expat living in Panama, I've really adapted in the 13 years I've been here. There's a few things, I still buy my laundry soap online because I don't like any scent in my laundry soap, and they don't make anything like that here in Panama. But so I there's still a few things I buy. I still like to buy M&M candies. Sorry, It's not a Panamanian thing. It's imported. What else do I like that's weird, Megan? Oh, I like those raspberry things. What are they?
Oh, the Dove ice cream bars.
Oh my God, those are just amazing. Megan and I love them. They're $7 a box of these little six little popsicles. But
I was
anyway,
also gonna say, don't you buy the organic, like, what's it called? All-purpose cleaner?
oh yeah, yeah, I do, but I end up spending a lot less than most people in cleaners because it's that real concentrated stuff. So I don't mind spending $20 for a bottle that's going to last me a year and mixing up floor cleaner and kitchen cleaner and stuff like that.
And there are
But
both ways to buy.
yeah, but here's an example. If you're an expat living here and you will only buy Tide Free, there is no Tide Free that's made close to Panama. It's coming out of the US. I'm going to show you a picture of it. It's going to be double what any competitor's laundry soap is in Panama here. Number one, because of this. Now, this is from, I forget what it even stands for, GF Mag. I've used it a lot since I've been here to look at price data and stuff. You can check it out, gfmag.com. You can compare different countries. And I compared United States, Canada, and some of our neighbors and Panama to the inflation rates over the last 5 years. Now, if you look at United States, we all your U.S. folks, darn it, you can't click, knew what happened in 2022. It went up to 8%. But in those 5 years, it's been 22% inflation in the U.S. In Panama, it's you forget about it's about 5% in 5 years. Yeah, 5.8. So that Tide that used to be, let's say, $12 for the container in the US is now 16. And the problem is down in Panama, we have to ship it here. And because of the supply chain disasters around the world, we're paying way more for it here. So that's just, the Tide thing is an example that I use. Now, this was one of my niches, guys. This is one of my things, potato chips. It's taken me 12 years to find a potato chip that I like better than not Lay's, Ruffles. Is it Ruffles, Megan? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's always been I like Ripple chips, okay? They're not called Ripple chips here. They're called wavy chips. And for a 170-gram bag here in Boquete, they're $5.65. It's insane. You know why? Because they're shipping air. And you can tell this product is not made anywhere for the Latin American market because there's no Spanish on the product. It's imported directly from the US, and you got a box. Here, I'm showing you guys, can't even see my picture. You got this giant box that contains 6 bags of chip. So the shipping cost is ridiculous. Now, there's a 200-gram, which is 15% larger brand of chips made in Costa Rica. I checked the made in, and they cost $2.75. So they are less than half the price. And yes, finally, they are better. The only thing is they don't pump the nitrogen air into them. So I'm that guy in the supermarket touching every bag to make sure I get one that is not, the chips aren't broken up at the bottom. But that's a great example. Find a brand in all the different areas that you can relate to, that you like, and you can drop your grocery bill if you do this in all foods by $100 a month easily. Now, this is a big one. Now, how do you tell if a product is imported or not? Typically, the first thing is there's going to be, without looking at the back of it, there's going to be no Spanish on the product. And on the one that's made for the Latin American market, this is a very popular Latin American fabric softener. This one's manufactured in, I don't remember, I think it was El Salvador. So anything manufactured close to Panama is easy to ship here, and it hasn't gone through the inflationary aspects of North America. So the Downy's $10.85 here. And I don't even know how to say the name of this, Megan. Do you? Swirl?
Suavitel.
Yeah, is $1.65, but it's only half the size. So it's actually $3.25 30 cents. And so $3.30 as opposed to $10.95. Now, maybe you won't like this brand. Try another one. Don't pay that ridiculous price for laundry soap and fabric softener. Same thing here. Tide, you can check this Tide bottle out. This is Tide Free. Oh no, Tide Febreze Sport. That's right. There is nothing Spanish on this bottle whatsoever. If it was a Tide does make some Latin American stuff. I've seen their product here, but this grocery store didn't have it. It all had didn't have any Spanish on the bottle whatsoever, and it is $17.70. Where one of the Latin America big brands, which there's no English on it, sorry, you got to figure out Google Translate, is $11. So this Tide product 5 years ago was probably closer in price, but the Tide product has got the inflation on it, where the local product doesn't have the amount of inflation that we saw. So that's where I'm just loading something else up because I want to get into. We got into groceries, so you can go. There's also the what I like to call the banana index. You know what that is? Banana index. Okay, everyone has. They got the McDonald's index. I use the banana index. When I was here, I was with Oscar. We were in David, and we were coming back by Gringo Corner, Megan. And there's a guy stopped, and Oscar, this first time Oscar borrowed money from me and never paid me back. And he asked me if I had a dollar. I go, yeah. And so he honks his horn. This guy comes over with this big bag of bananas, and I give him a dollar, and then I gave him one for me. And there was 10 bananas, like 10 full-size bananas. Today, at that same corner, it's not the same guy, but it's someone else. It's now 8 bananas for a dollar. So that basically shows a 20% inflation rate over 10 years, like less than like the average 2%, which I showed you. Somebody spent days and hours making those stats, and I just proved it with the banana index.
Yeah, and a lot of people in the chat are saying like, we want to talk about rentals and real estate, and we'll get to that, but
Yeah,
I mean, groceries are a big part of the monthly budget, and it's a very easy way to show the inflation and the difference between imported versus Panamanian products, and living like you're still living like a foreigner versus living like a Panamanian.
yeah. In the grocery store, I also, the basic stuff. When I moved here in 2012, eggs were $1.75 a dozen. Today they're $1.90. They came down in price from 210 last week. And by the way, you guys think I have a mind like this? In my previous career before I moved here, I ran 25 very large retail outlets and across Western Canada and Pacific Northwest U.S. So that's why I have a mind for prices. And chicken thighs were $1 a pound. I was so excited because in Canada we were paying so much for chicken. They're now $1.25 a pound. So everything is within that spectrum of what Statistica tells us. It's not getting ridiculously expensive to go to the grocery store unless you're buying those items. Okay. Next thing, Megan. Do you got anything you want to comment on that, Megan, before I prepare the real estate and rental stuff in your daily shopping? Maybe,
No, I mean, even with like the fondas, like if you're eating at a Panamanian local restaurant, you can still get a $5 meal. But if
yeah,
you're going to some of the more high-end restaurants that are targeting tourists, then you might spend $20 a meal, but it doesn't really go too much higher than that.
no. But it doesn't, it's the mentality. If you got an expat run high-end restaurant targeting North American tourists, prices have gone crazy there. You got, Big Mac meals for $20. Like, and so there I'm seeing, do you call it price gouging? I don't know. Maybe a lot of their imported food has gone. I know a lot of the high end places import their meat from the U.S. And that's really gone up. So yes, they have to. But Megan's right. The fonda, my favorite fonda in Alta Boquete when I moved here was $3.50 for chicken, rice, salad, and plantains. It's now $3.75. The one downtown was always $4.75 May 8th, and they're now 5. So they've gone up a little bit. My organic eggs, free range eggs, I've been buying from the same lady for 10 years at the market. 2 months ago, she explained to me that she had to raise her price. It's always been $3. It's now 3.25. So just, stuff like that. So it's not out of control. But let me, for memory wise, now I'm going to share my screen. I only got one window open. I'm doing this on Facebook. Why am I doing this on Facebook? I don't know, just because I can. So we're starting in the city. Now, this is quite amazing, guys. Honestly, in 2012, I lived in the city, and I was looking for apartments, and this would have been $1,700-$1,800. This is 3 bedrooms plus a den, 3 bathrooms in a beautiful building in San Francisco. Great area. It's not waterfront, it's city front, but
right near a nice big park.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a huge place. I think it's 1,700 square feet. It's modern, it's new, and it's renting for $1,400 right now, which is a really good price for this product. And so that's one. Then we have, again, this is in El Cangrejo, which is this one. Would you say, Megan, one of the most popular rental places within the city, like not oceanfront?
Yeah.
It's got to be El Cangrejo or San Francisco. I know the building very well. Beautiful stuff. Again, sorry about that pit. That's them. Little old furniture. These come fully furnished for the prices we're talking. Yeah, they got some wacky furniture. The place has a pool. Not very good pictures, but guys, look at the price. $1,150 a month. This is again a 16th floor, 3 bedrooms, three full baths, plus a maid's quarters. So I'm not going to say we're in a recession in rentals across the Panama City and the beaches, but I'm going to show you guys better prices than we have seen in, I would say, 5 years. And they were higher. My first place in Panama City was a 2-bedroom, small 2-bath that I rented for $1,150. I saw the same building they were all the same apartments listed for $900.
Yeah, and so if you're looking like waterfront, you're going to pay probably at least double that.
Yeah.
Still very competitive.
I'm not seeing double. I'm not seeing double in Balboa. Like, if it's $1,400, you're going to pay $1,800.
Well, for that size.
Yeah. That's a pretty big place. I have some later on here, but we're going to look at a house and for sale, what it would cost to buy something. Cute little neighborhood. They need to power wash their entire driveway. That's what I would tell the realtor. Someone stop power washing. It looks good so far. So this is a big space. It is a Panamanian style home, but it's upgraded with proper ceilings and stuff like that. Very large kitchen with no uppers. There's something, have you ever learned in the Panamanian customs, Megan, why they never put uppers? Oh, she had to run up. They never put upper cabinets in, but you could easily add those in. So this is an older Panamanian home, like I said. And you can buy it. It's outside of David on this side of Boquete for $94,000. It's in a decent yard, too. Yeah, like an average size North American yard, 0.13 acres. And the house is 1,500 square feet. So, Megan, I was saying, is there any reason why Panamanians don't put uppers in their kitchens, upper cabinets?
I do not know why.
I thought you might have asked someone by now. You must have seen many Panamanian homes without that.
I know it is strange.
Mhm. Even brand new homes, they're building and not putting the uppers in. Okay, where are we going here? Okay, we
Storage
are
in
also.
general is not a priority, and us North Americans love our storage.
I'm gonna find this one. Okay, this is also in Panama City. Now I do have to apologize for the dark pictures. Very basic apartment, but still nice. Decent sized rooms, fully furnished. 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. Nice balcony. 850. I was trying to find the, excuse me, I jumped on. Oh no, I don't know the neighborhood, so I'm not going to send you there. I have to look harder on that one. Okay. Now this is a community called Villa del Sol in Chamay, which is near the beach. So this is a community of homes centered around a pool. Oh, they also have their own above ground. So this is nice. We could learn to live. The Chamay is a large area. Depending on where you are, is how close, whether you're walking or driving to the actual pool. And they're renting this one for 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, totally fenced lot, fully furnished, 800 a month. So again, fair price. And I'm going to quickly go through these because we got to get to the Q&A portion. I'm sure people will have a lot of questions on how to find this stuff. Oh, this is the one centered around the pool. Got to show this one. This is a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 1 bath in near Coronado. So it's several homes that center around the little pool area. You guys saw the price already, but very cute, nice stuff. 850 a month. I honestly haven't seen these prices in a long time. Sorry, got to give my computer a rest. I think I can go to the next one. Okay, there we go. Beachfront condo. Very nice beachfront condo. I'm only going to guess what this would rent for. This is for sale for 145,000. Nice king size bed. Oh, obviously 2 bedrooms. Tight kitchen, but 140. It looks like they got a store. They turned a storage room into another bedroom.
Or a maid's quarters.
Yeah, yeah, that could be. Great balcony. That's your view. Just water if you like it. For sale, 145,000. Any. There we go. Now, what was this one? Where was this one, Megan? You added it today.
If I added it, then it had to have been in Boquete. It looks like it says Bajo Boquete.
Yeah. Okay, it's in Bajo Boquete. That's downtown Boquete. It looks like a 1 bedroom casita style house, but modern for $550 a month. I noticed there's a bunch of those $500-600 a month available. That was the price 10 years ago. My first place I rented here was $500 a month. Yeah. It wasn't nearly as nice as that. I think it was a 2 bedroom though.
There was one in downtown Boquete. I think it's just a 1 or 2 bedroom, 1 bath for $550 a month. Actually, Melissa posted that, and I remembered seeing it a few years ago for the same price available.
This one here is a $600 unit. Is that the same bed? Nope. So it's 2 bedroom, 2 baths. Always look for two a hot and a cold to see if you have hot water. Very small kitchen, unless they're going to show me a picture of the other side here. Nope. Oh, another bedroom. Okay, so this is, there's no description. It's an Alto Boquete. Oh, there we go. Found it. For rent, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Yeah, dining, kitchen, garage.
Garage, that's nice.
6 month lease. Yeah, I think it's just covered. Rent for 6 months or 1 year lease for $600. It's great. You know, it's a bit eclectic, I would call it. Now we're going to get into some. Not everyone's in the $600 budget. I love this house. Where is this, Megan? Do you know?
Did it say in the description? I posted so many, I don't remember.
Bajo Boquete, right?
It says Volcancito, Santa Lucia.
Yeah, Volcancito, nice neighborhood. 15 minutes away from downtown. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full kitchen, dining, 2 private parking places, loft, green area, plenty of space. Very quiet. Has 2, and it also has 2 apartments out the back, like the house made of wood, very closed. So it looks like you get to rent the apartments. That'd be cool. Or do you think the apartments are? No. So you can get really high end stuff too. Like this is furnished, paintings.
Yeah, for
Live like
$1,900.
a king for $1,900. Then rent out a couple rooms for a few $100s a month. Oh, I know this place. I actually know this place. We've actually seen it. So no, the rooms don't come with it, I don't think. But the house is enough privacy that you can't really see the other people. So there's some nice stuff in it. It's a good place. Okay. Again, this is also nice high-end stuff. Hopefully they take the plastic off. This is also in Boquete. Beautiful place. Fully furnished. I don't know why they call it a little apartment. It's very nice, very high end. So its price is in between everything. Where's this condo? This one's in Boquete. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, this is pretty, you know, if you're going to live in a place like this, where I think we're going to see this one Monday. That's the one I wanted. Yeah. Now, the people from calling in from California and New York or Toronto or Vancouver, just, oh my God, I want to book that now. But for you people in maybe Kansas or Missouri, a place like that, you wouldn't pay $1,800. Well, we showed you there's many more options. It's an incredible, beautiful place for $1,800 a month. Almost done. See, now we got $950. 2 bed, 2 bath. Nice view, fully furnished, decent kitchen, hot water throughout. What more would you want? $950 a month.
I think that one was
love. What's that?
I think that one
I'm
was
show it. I'll try to end as one more. Yeah. Then there's another $600 one. These are all why I did this on Facebook. These are all live listings, guys. These are not something I'm telling you from 10 years ago or whatever. These are live listings that you can get now across the country, from 800 in Panama City to 1,200 in the beaches. Where'd Megan go? Let's go back to the comments. We lost Megan. Okay. I'm sure she will be back. Okay, I'm getting into the questions, guys. Now, if you want to type your questions into the chat, if you want to come live with us, like camera and microphone, just don't put your question, just type the word live, Live, and we will bring you on. Megan's back.
I'm back. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Do you got the questions? Because I think I'm centered now, but right around the middle.
Oh, you know what? Because I switched to my tab. Oh, here they go. Now they loaded.
Oh, okay. Well, I will start the first one because, Kevin brings up a point here that's really interesting. We do not have a central bank that runs the economy and sets the interest rates. We have our economy sets our interest rates, but since I've been here, interest rates have been within 1 point of each other for years, and it's not the subprime stuff. Like, people are actually earning money in their savings accounts here. They've always been around 5-6%, and so you can earn money on your savings. In fact, Panama has a law that its citizens or residences do not have to pay taxes on the first $500,000 worth of savings. You don't need to pay income tax on that because they realize you've already paid tax on it. Boy, isn't that a smart thing? So, anyways, we don't have that central bank. Our economy is actually a real economy. It's not influenced by the men in black, whoever those guys are that kind of run the Fed or other things. So, okay. What should we get into, Megan? What? I'm lost on the screen here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go back up through. I see one here that says, oh, I just lost it. How about,
Can you throw it up on the screen?
let me see.
No.
No, I don't think it's going to let me.
Oh, you can't click. Just click on it. Okay. Elvinson, if you would like to come on with an audio, Elvinson, yes, please type the word live in the chat. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. Okay. Kevin, when does the train start construction? No construction date yet. It has moved farther ahead in the last 2 months than it has in the last 5 years. The original feasibility study was almost 5 years ago. It was before COVID. And now they're going into secondary feasibility and route studies. So what does this, guys? High-speed rail, 180 kilometers an hour from Panama City to David, and then possibly down the road all the way up to into Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, stuff like that. So, but it's starting here, and we could have that done within the next 4 to 5 years. But it'd be very interesting. Yeah. Megan?
We have some families asking about cost of living, such as school
Sure.
fees and education.
Okay, can you bring the question up?
It doesn't allow me on my tablet.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. Just start answering read the question and I'll see if I can find it.
So there is, for example, Academia is one of the biggest international schools. There's one in Boquete and one in David. And that's around $200 to $300 a month tuition. And most Panamanians will actually choose to send their children to private schools if they can afford it. So middle and upper class do choose private schools because the public school education is not very good. But in Panama City, there's everything from a few $100s a month tuition up to thousands of dollars a month tuition. Yeah, there's a lot of options in Panama City, and then usually at least two in a lot of the popular expat towns around the country.
It's a good thing. Let's talk about our utility bills, Megan. You guys are a family of four. What's your electric bill? You probably pay them because most people would forget.
Yeah, it's usually around $80 a month, but it used to be more like 40. But in this house, it's like a second story, and there's some rooms like this one that don't have like as much circulation. So we do have some air conditioning that we run sometimes at night. So that's why it's a little bit higher. But typically in Boquete, you're not going to have air conditioning or need it. So it used to be like 40.
How much do you spend a month on gas?
That's an Oscar question.
And
twice
a month, like twice, 2 tanks?
Max.
That would be $10 then. What's your cell phone bill?
$30 a month for international data. I mean, unlimited data and international.
Do you know the internet bill?
I think it's 50.
Yeah, but you guys, we're business people, so we buy the extreme ones. You can get, like, my cell phone bill is $22, and my internet could be as low as $25. But since we're running this business and we do these Q&As and we do all this stuff, we have the highest internet, which the average person doesn't need. So that's basically, like, gas for me is $5 a month at the most. That's propane for cooking, dryer, stuff like that, hot water. And
you were talking about propane.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about car fuel.
Oh yeah, no, I figure you guys must go through two tanks with all the laundry you do and all the hot water. Yeah. And a tank is $5 here, so that basically gives you an idea. Megan went through school fees. If you're in the, school fees are like rent. The International Academy, a good school here, $300 a month, but you could send your kids to King's College or for $800 a month in Panama City. There's different levels of schools also.
A lot of people choose homeschool too. There's big homeschooling groups.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put the questions up because mine works. So hard to find rentals that are fenced and allow pets. Well, we both have pets. We both rent, and we both have fences. So, and we always have. I've always had pets. All my rentals have had fences.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's more uncommon to see a rental that says no pets. And it is very common for houses here to be fenced.
And it's very common for Panamanians to own pets. They already have pets in their own yard. So
yeah.
How difficult is it to find general work for an expat in Boquete? Are you talking about hiring somebody, Ken? I think I need you to explain that. Like if I want my grass cut or if I want a shed built.
Or is Ken trying to work in Boquete?
Or are you trying to get a job here? We need you to clarify that because those are two totally different answers. Okay. Looking at Zoom. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's answer this first question. Well, when you're looking at a listing, it should tell you whether it has covered parking. Very few garages in Panama, like 4 walls and a door. Oscar and Megan have the only person I know that actually has a garage. But mostly they're just covered carports. And if they have backup water and generator, they will tell you. Now, generators are a bit overrated, in my opinion. You might, some areas, you might consider a generator. We both have backup batteries to back up our important stuff. If the power went off here, we would never waste the guy's time inviting you to a Q&A and then disappear. We have full backup of both internet and power that could totally finish off this Q&A. Now, Megan, any other good Spanish instructors?
Yeah,
Michael's
I have a couple more I can send your way. Um, yeah, also like there's no way like standard for listings, especially if you're looking at rentals. So a lot of times you just need to reach out to whoever's listing and ask for more pictures,
yeah,
ask for more information because a lot of them are very bare on the info.
yeah. I've never rented a house with a generator. I've had backup water, and I've been in neighborhoods, but I live right downtown Bajo Boquete. We both do. We don't have backup waters. We don't because we don't need it here.
No. Let me write
Liz.
it down to send to Michael.
Okay, I'm not going to quite ask. I'll answer this one, but just because I opened it up, it doesn't matter when you start the pensionado visa. It has no relevance on the calendar. So I'm trying to think of how it would, but no, it doesn't matter.
The only thing you would worry about is if you're arriving in like November or something and you want to apply, because there are so many Panamanian holidays in November, and even during like the holiday season, of course, too. Those are just times where everyone has off. So we wouldn't recommend booking your immigration appointment during that month.
Yeah. Is there any new construction going on in Volcan? Quite a bit, more than there has been in the last 5 years. There's some smaller communities. They're building all over Panama these little developments. Oscar and I, once he gets back on his private tour, hopefully before the new one, I'm going to tour some of them, where it's a whole new class of housing is being built across Panama in the $80,000 to $150,000 range, and the entire planned communities. And there's a couple of those going up in the Volcan area also.
And it's very easy for Panamanian Social Security workers to get mortgages on those homes.
Yeah. Okay, Debbie, do you mean interest up to 500,000 of savings is tax free? It's not quite like Canada, but yeah, interest on up to 500,000 in savings is income tax free forever, not deferred or anything. It is just never be charged income tax on it. Okay, Robert, there we go. Oh, I am so sorry, Robert. You mustn't be on StreamYard. You must be on YouTube or Facebook because it doesn't allow me to bring you on. You have to be in our actual platform, which is, you can come join us. There's a link, although we're going to be ending pretty soon. There's a link in the description.
It has a little Facebook symbol on his icon, so he's probably on Facebook.
Oh, you're right, Megan. Thank you for, yeah. Michael Collins. Oh, someone purchases a Panamanian house and wanted to renovate. Oh, there we go. Modernize it. Are there work? Oh, yeah. All kinds of workers. You can get bids. Make sure, like really, you really have to make sure you got quality workers. Like, don't come here, buy a house, and then think within a month you're going to hire somebody. No, get to know the community. Get to know some good friends around here. Get to know people who have get over to their homes, people who have had renovations done before. No, we don't actually offer that type of liaisoning, like finding you a person to renovate your house or anything. Of course, yes, for our past tour guests, we have been involved because we're involved in their lives. We helped them move here, and we had one that bought 3 years later, but they yeah. So we were involved in that process of building and stuff like that, but not just like an outside source to. Depending where you are, Tracy, you guys can always really. We're not the guys that are going to send you to say, hey, no, you gotta if you fill out our contact form, which I just put in the chat, and if you tell us where you are, and if we know excellent builders in that area, because over the 12 years, people have built or renovated in many areas, we will give you a referral. That's not a problem.
Yeah, we don't know everyone, but we know a lot of
Yeah,
people, and we're happy to pull our people for you. In Boquete, we know a lot. If it's a big renovation, we would recommend getting at least the project manager or owner of the construction company to be bilingual because you're going to want to make sure that's done right.
exactly. Watermelon. What is? I don't eat watermelon. What does it cost in Panama? Do we even grow watermelon here?
Yeah, in the summertime,
Yeah.
there's so much watermelon, like
Maybe it
January
won't
to
be
March, it's
14.
everywhere in the dry season. It depends on the size, really. But I mean, no more than a couple dollars for a big one.
Hi, Ken. You talk about you working in Panama. To work in Panama, you obviously need a work visa. You cannot get a work visa with if you're coming on the pensionable visa. So it's a very difficult situation to move here and work unless you've already been offered a job. Because how else, like, and it's very difficult to be offered a job if you know, you know. Let me put it this way, Ken. If you are, let's say, you are a handyman and you can fix anything. You come to live in Boquete and Coronado and get to know all the people in the expat bars and expats hangouts, and you could fix stuff for them. And I'm not advocating, you going out there working, taking jobs from Panamanians, but it's very common here that an expat that used to be an appliance repair person still dabbles in that quietly. You certainly can't open up a business.
Or you could own the business, but not necessarily work in it. That's kind of a loophole.
Okay, I guess we're getting into general. We only got 5 minutes left in this Q&A, folks. This was a big one today. And by the way, the rate for bringing Amazon stuff in hasn't changed in 12 years.
It's probably gotten
14.
better because there's more competition.
Well, true, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. It's not difficult to get Amazon to Boquete or anywhere else in Panama. One of the biggest mail forwarding services is mailboxes, etc., but there are many others. Um, and you pay on the weight of the item, or if it's sea freight, sometimes by the volume. And so that's anywhere from like $2.50 to $5 to $6 a pound, depending what you're shipping, how you're shipping it. Once it arrives to your Miami address, so if you have Prime, that's tomorrow. Then within 3 to 5 days, it will arrive in Boquete if you're doing air freight, 10 to 14 days if you're doing sea freight. There let's see, private schools. AIB is the only bilingual private school in Boquete. Yes. There are a couple other private schools that are just Spanish. Um, one of them is Catholic. And then there are two private schools, at least two large ones that I know of, or maybe three actually. Oxford, I think also Cambridge, and then also the AIB bilingual. And then obviously the British ones I think are just English mostly, but there's a lot of Panamanians, so of course they'll learn Spanish there too. And then, is it feasible to buy local groceries, fish, fruits, and bread in Boquete, David, and Chiriquí?
But
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by. I guess there's just trying to say like Panamanian sourced food.
yeah, we have more than 50 local food vendors that have their own booths set up. Many of them grow just out of their own gardens. We have
Yeah,
three
lots of
major.
local bakeries.
I'm going to give you guys an inflation thing. I juice orange juice. I love orange juice, and I juice it. So I went to the Tuesday market, and a guy in his truck outside was loaded up with giant bags of oranges for $5, freshly picked. So I bought a bag, dragged this thing home. I think it was 20 pounds of orange. It was just ridiculous for 5 bags. Then I juiced a gallon and a half of orange juice, and I actually freeze it. I freeze a liter at a time and take it out and got orange juice for weeks. I went to the store the next day and they had Florida oranges there, imported oranges. So I used the scale to see how many oranges I would get for $5. It was 7. In the bag that I bought from the Tuesday market, there was 37 oranges. So 37 fresh oranges picked yesterday, or 5 Florida oranges shipped here. Sorry, 7 Florida oranges, same price. Okay. Are the flights more expensive? Flights? No, they're cheaper, especially if you get a. Well, you're not getting a pensionado even, Sue, but once you do get the pensionado, then they're even cheaper. But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, know any of why the flights would be any more expensive. So, but any rumors about the visa becoming more enticing? There's always rumors. I actually start some of them. I started a rumor that friendly nations visa could become more enticing, and that the qualified investors visa won't go up. So we're getting close. We're only a month and a half away from that one, but it didn't go up a year and a half ago. Hopefully, it won't go up now. Michael Collins, very good questions. Where can you find qualified building inspectors? There's no such position in Panama. There's no license or trade name for a building inspector in Panama, if you can believe it. It's mostly architects that we use, and owners of major construction sites, owners of major construction, but there is no building inspector certificate in Panama.
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, there's lists of people who do evaluations for like bank mortgages, but they actually don't even send the engineer. They just have a tech come look and then give the info back to the engineer to write up the report. So better to have like an architect or somebody who's building a lot in Panama come look at it for you. Things are just done differently here.
Yeah, where I can get an endless cup of coffee. I sip my coffee very slowly. That's why I've been drinking it all night.
In Boquete,
Okay.
coffee on every corner.
It is 8 p.m. I really hope M&M's coming. Yes, bring me M&M's. Anyone coming to Panama? They're much cheaper in the States. I hope we didn't miss anything. Somehow the thing went a little bit wacky, but I think we had a great Q&A, great crowd here tonight. We really appreciate everyone coming on. So,
what do we have next week, Rod?
Oh, what do we have next week? I believe we have Cherokee Highlands for you mountain peoples. We got to talk about that. Why not only we are Panama relocation experts, all of Panama, but certainly with Oscar, Megan, and myself, we know everything about the province of Cherokee. We've been here many, many, many years. So we are doing a Q&A. So we're going to cover right from the beaches. Yes, Cherokee has beaches. The beaches in David, Las Lajas, to what David actually has to offer you, to Boquete, to Dolega, to Falcon, and every place in between. We're going to talk about why we like living in Boquete and why you shouldn't write it off just because it's an hour from the beach. Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. We'll see you
guys
next week. Thanks for joining.
See you guys next week. You know where we will be. Talk later.